Imagine this. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it goes. Freedom Mind.
You are listening to Brawl, Panties and Sports. This is Dizzie Mac, here with the First Lady of Sports Talk, the one and only Cheryl Smith. And we're joined by the lovely Shimmy Shake Girls and our panel. And today our panel includes me and the one and only First Lady. And we get it cracked. The first show of 2016. And First Lady, I'm ready. How was your holiday? How was your New Year's?
Oh, it was great. Happy New Year's to our fans. We're going to be mean and lean in 2016.
That's right. Lean and mean. Shimmy Shake Girls getting lean and mean, and hey, we're going to do our thing. So, First Lady, let's not even keep the fans waiting. We got a lot to talk about. So what you saying?
Each week we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdie known as Chip Kelly is flying far, far away after being kicked out of the nest by Jeffrey Lurie with a game remaining in the season. With one game remaining in the season. Do you really get rid of a guy with a winning record for one bad season? What coach is going to fly in and take these birdies to the playoffs? Are reports that Chip is flapping wings in anticipation of getting that phone call from the Tennessee Titans? Should Jerry Jones can his losing coach and get a certain coach and quarterback from New Orleans? Don McVay, Buddy Ryan, Jaws, Andy Reid, and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Well, in Philadelphia, they're saying, Chips Ahoy. That's what the fans are saying.
Yeah.
They are so glad this man is gone. I mean, really glad. I mean, let's face it. Chip had only one bad season, but he caused that one bad season when he decided that he wanted to receive full control over player personnel. Now, he got rid of all their great players, and his moves were very controversial. I mean, to the point that players were insinuating that he had issues with the black players. And he tried. Kelly really tried so desperately to put basically his Oregon ties around, players that came from Oregon. So he really wanted the players that fit his mold. But one thing Chip Kelly failed to realize, you need talent. When you play in this game, you have to have talent. And, it wasn't because he struggled because of his, people saw the type of offense he has or his schemes were not great. Kelly lost his game because his roster just was not talented. I mean, Riley Cooper, he should have been gone. I mean, if anything, he was fired because of himself. Chip basically did it into himself. And the thing is about him, he was kind of slick because he was trying to say that he wasn't the GM. So I think Jeff Lurie just got tired of this man. He didn't trust him anymore because he was putting things out there that, I wasn't in charge of player personnel. Really? Come on, Chip. I mean, let's face it. You were in charge of player personnel. So let's see. Is he going to go to the Titans job? Yeah, he's definitely going to campaign for that job because it would be an easy transition to him because, Marcus Mariota is his type of quarterback that he needs with his offense. And the thing, though, if Chip gets that job, he has to make one adjustment, and that's not to be in charge of player personnel. We already know what happens when he's in charge of player personnel. Now, as far as the Eagles, they'll probably look for somebody who has previous ties with the organization. I don't think they're going to be bringing in a big-name coach. If you really look at it, I mean, they really don't bring in big-name coaches to coach that team. I mean, they really haven't had that many coaches within several years. But I think Jeffrey Lurie will definitely bring in somebody who's close to the organization. And why are we always talking about the Cowboys? What does Jerry Jones and the Cowboys got to do with Chip Kelly? But anyway, since we got to talk about the Cowboys, I mean, should he get rid of his losing coach? Of course he should get rid of the guy. I mean, come on now. He should get rid of him. He's not going to get rid of him. He's not going to get. That's his buddy. That's his little son. Jerry Jones will not get rid of him. So there's no need to speculate whether or not Sean Payton and Drew Brees will be coming to Arlington. I seriously doubt it. All right, Dizzie Mac, what do you think about this whole Chip Kelly situation?
Chips Ahoy, I like that. I like that First Lady. I was thinking more of, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Chip. Don't you come back no more. And that's what they needed to get him out of town. He has slowly but surely dismantled that team and left it just as a shipwreck. A shipwreck. You run the best players out of town. You look like you don't like the best players who happen to be black. And you just really took yourself and put yourself in a position where, hey, any personnel moves were going to be on you. You removed the buffer, the general manager, and made yourself the general manager, which was a no-no. Now, he's going to be trying to lobby for that Tennessee Titans job because he's got the one player that he coveted all through this year's draft, Marcus Mariota. But if I was young Marcus, I'd run. Chip Kelly won't do nothing but just throw you to the wolves, Marcus. Ask Sam Bradford. Ask Nick Foles. Trade one and trade it for the other. Ask Michael Vick. Yeah. Ask the godfather of the dual threat quarterbacks. What happened with him? And Chip Kelly. Yeah. But hey, he'll probably get the job because again, you know how Chip is. Chip will probably be talking smack, talking slick, and we all know that he interviews well. That's one thing we do know. He interviews well because, again, how are you going to jump from the college to the pros without being able to interview well? And he's going to pull the wool over somebody's eyes down there. Now, Jason Garrett is safe. Again, like you said, that's Jerry Jones' little son, First Lady. I mean, hey, he's the puppet. I mean, I don't know about you, but hey, can't no other man. Hey, can't no other man, Ronnie B, put a quarter in my back and I speak. It looks like that's what he does when he's speaking. Jerry Jones has put a quarter in his back, wound him up, and he's talking. So, no, he's going to be there until Jerry Jones says otherwise, and that's what's going to be that. He knows they need Tony Romo, and they do. Now, Sean Payton and Drew Brees, yeah, it would be a nice thing to float on over there into Texas from Louisiana, which a lot of Louisianans do. They migrate to Texas, Houston, Dallas, East Texas. They like that kind of sort of thing. But Drew Brees is proud. Sean Payton is too proud. And I don't think they'll get the kind of money that they're looking for to make a move like that. I don't know. Yeah, Sean Payton ain't gonna give up Drew Brees. They're tied at the hip. They done won that one championship. They done bought New Orleans back, and that's gonna be their claim to fame. So I know Jeffrey Lurie is probably saying, good riddance. Now, he may not be going back to the casino, but he gambles on Chip Kelly, and the Eagles lost. They became chickens. They couldn't fly.
All right.
So, one thing I have looked at this is that who gave Chip Kelly the authority in the first place?
Oh, Jeffrey Lurie, of course.
Yeah. Now Jeffrey Lurie, you gonna give the man the authority for his first time out. He screws up, and then you gonna kick him to the curb like he was the problem. You giving him the authority was what kind of boneheaded manager? Every coach in the league who has been given that personnel, the next year they have to take it away because what? They screw it up. Now, they know that there's very few coaches that really, the example they want to give is the big tuna. Well, the big tuna, but I mean, them other coaches, they were like, when you win a Super Bowl, we'll let you do some stuff like that. But until you do that, just go ahead and you're going to deal with the people we got. So that the coach is forced to adjust their program because they got the personnel they got. So I go that was a Jeff Lurie bonehead decision. He should have went with it and took it away, because either way they're gonna have to do some personnel moves and bring it back. Now what's gonna happen is Chip Kelly is gonna mess around and get to Tennessee. He will not get personnel decisions, and he'll have to adjust. And they'll mess around in the weak. Did I say weak or weak and pitiful AFC South, and mess around and win the division next year with an 8-8 record?
That's true. That's very well.
Mess around and just roll to the dice, and mess around and get a 9-7 and win the AFC South. But go Texas.
All right. Well, he'll definitely get a job. So I mean, I think there's some other people out there that definitely will look at him, even if he doesn't go to the Titans. But I just think he's a very good talker. Dizzie Mac said, I think he must have smoothed Jeffrey Lurie over with that proposition of taking over player personnel. So, I mean, yeah, he did give him the rights, but he definitely sure corrected that problem. All right, Dizzie Mac.
Lurie need to make sure that he didn't use that stuff that Bill Cosby did. Because it sounds like he got screwed there.
Oh, wow. All right, Dizzie Mac, over to you.
All right. Thank you, First Lady. Don't call it a comeback. I've been in for years, rocking my penis, put suckers in fear. Making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom. Explosion. Overpowering. Over the competition, I'm towering. Wrecking shop. When I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare. You better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest of all you just sliced and diced. Competition paying the price. Mama said knock you out. I'm going to knock you out. We're not talking about Sarah Del Rey, Akira Hakuto, or Judy Grable. We're talking about the final knockout punch between the Bengals and the Broncos. Rock came back in overtime after a missed field goal that tore the heart out of their chest and had the entire team looking for some Viagra. Was this game more about Brock and Peyton or an injured Andy Dalton? John Elway, Jake Cutler, Jake the Snake, and the Orange Crusher asking, what you saying? Well, for me, It says more about Brock. In Brock we trust. And they have started trusting in Brock. Hayden who? Hayden who? Heck. Hayden hears a who. And it's like retirement time. It's like get out of Dodge time. Because new sheriff in town is Brock Osweiler. Yeah. Brock has tried to make sure that Peyton does not get back on the field in this season. He's doing a good job, and he deserves it. I don't think Peyton deserves to go out and be the starting quarterback of the Denver Broncos. I don't care if he was hurt. He was hurting the team. So was it the injury? Yeah, he was injured, but his play was stinking. The people thought it was that Peyton Manning strain of weed that they were smoking out there, or maybe Peyton smoking weed, because he was playing awful. The game he broke the record for most passing yards. He had pretty much just as many interceptions as he had completion before they yanked him up out of there. Yanked him out like he was just a I was going to say something, First Lady. I was going to say they yanked him out the game like he was a fourth stringer. But that was Peyton Manning. And he had to get unceremoniously removed because they said he was hurting. Yeah, he was hurting the team. Hurting the team. He was hurting the fans. So, no. Brock, it's all about Brock. And I truly think now is the time for him. Broncos came back. Yeah. I know the Browns definitely missed their opportunity.
You mean the Bengals?
The Bungles, yes, thank you. The Bengals. I mean, the Bengals were playing like the Browns. They were blue after the game. So hey, you go out there to Denver, expect to see a 6'8" quarterback under center. First Lady, it's time. It's time. What you saying?
Well, I think the game was more about Brock, but it's not what he did in the first half. It was what he did in the second half because he didn't do much in the first half. I mean, the first half was dominated by the Bengals in that game. It was like a difference of two halves. I mean, A.J. McCarron, he did what he did. He was making great plays to A.J. Green, and the defense played well. But then we came to the second half. I don't know what happened to the Bengals in the locker room in the halftime, but they came out as a completely different team, and I think that's because Brock, he played real well. They kind of did a hurry-up offense, and that appeared to wear down the Bengals defense. And he just, Brock just started connecting and really doing sustained drives. They kept making their third down plays, but each team had some big plays. The Denver, that play with the Bengals defender where he was trying to yank the ball out of the guy from when he was going out of bounds. I mean, that was a big play because that play allowed them to advance that ball 15 yards, and that's the reason why McManus was able to kick that field goal. And that was a big play for Denver. And then when you're talking about the Bengals, obviously when McCarron fumbled that ball and ended the game, so obviously that was a big play. But, it's going to be interesting because you hear rumblings that Peyton may be coming back for the playoffs. So, as well as Brock has played, he may not be the starting quarterback when the playoff comes around. So, it's going to be interesting because, now all of a sudden you may have a quarterback controversy in Denver because definitely Brock has played well enough this season, and he runs Kubiak's offense much better than Peyton Manning. So, it's going to be interesting. But are they going to put all their eggs on Brock in the playoffs? That's going to be interesting because you're hearing that Peyton is getting ready to come back because, you know, they activated him. He was the backup for the last game, and we'll see. But I think this is going to be interesting. As far as the Bengals, well, A.J. McCarron, he's good, but I don't know. Andy Dalton obviously was better. Andy Dalton was having a fantastic year, so they're not going to go far in the playoffs with A.J. McCarron. So, but they were able to get into the playoffs.
You say A.J. McCarron is not going to do a Tom Brady and come in and take him to the Super Bowl.
No, definitely not. He's not going to do that. I mean, that fumble was just horrible. That he took his eyes off the ball. You know, there was nothing wrong with that snap. That was a big play.
Well, I dare say that the game really was more about Andy Dalton and Bengals in the playoffs. They may have a decision to make with Brock and Peyton, but that's called they got a decision to make, you know. The Bengals with Andy Dalton hurt, they ain't got no decision to make. They on the wing of the prayer. You know?
Wing?
Yeah, well, they are on the wing of the prayer. They winging the prayer to make it. Yeah. That's just about it.
Yeah, I mean, they went from a team that would have had a first round bye to it's now everything up in the air. So I would go that way.
That's why you always could be one injury away from devastation, and they actually had their devastation with Andy Dalton.
McCarron might be a solid backup, but you know, in time, hey, that wing in the prayer, First Lady, take us to break.
The first two listeners to email us or send a shout-out why the ladies mentioned or grouped together will receive a $25 gift card from our friends at sportsacademy.com and an additional $25 card from our partners at NFLshop.com. Here is your hint. It has something to do with their sport. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from Arkeva on the first part of Shout Out.
Free Mr. Vaughn. I mean it.
Another day, another restless night, crying myself to sleep. Another day of relentless phone calls from credit card companies demanding payment. Another day wondering if filing bankruptcy or getting one of those debt consolidation loans is the only way to go. A friend said, "Stop crying. Just call Sharon, the debt destroyer." Sharon and her team of experts work hard to help you eliminate your credit card debt and get you and your credit back on track. No bankruptcy, no loans, your credit card debt eliminated. I called Sharon and her team of experts went right to work with a plan that made sense. I am sleeping peacefully knowing my credit card debt is being destroyed and my credit is getting back on track. Have your credit card debt destroyed and get a good night's sleep? Contact Sharon, the Debt Destroyer, at yourdebtdestroyed.com or call 888-431-2829, extension 2.
The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear music from Arkeva.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. This morning we have Arkeva out of Yokohama, Japan, with his album Love, Love. Jay, let's hear. People have dreams of different kinds.
People have dreams of different kinds, but I have one I call all mine. I don't dream of fortune or fame, until this day remains the same. I dream I have you in my life, and in that dream you were my wife. I dream that I keep you all alone, big white house and kids full grown. People have dreams of different kinds, but I have one I call all mine. I don't dream of fortune or fame, until this day remains the same. I dream I have you in my life, and in that dream you were my wife. I dream that I keep you all alone, big white house and kids full grown. I love my wife. I love my family. Lazy and Gary, little D. Mama Yvonne, and Marty, all of my brothers and sisters, all of my brothers and sisters and family.
All right. Let's go to the panel. Dizzie Mac, what did you think, Eva?
Hey, you know what, First Lady?
Yes, what?
I'm going to show them some love. It reminded me of them Saturday morning westerns, you know, how you would come into town, ride into town. You know, the old spaghetti western types where they'd have the dub voices and they'd be talking over the, you know, crazy, but funny. So I thought, hey, so, you know what I mean? Hey, he was kind of harmonizing. So I'll give him a little shout out there, you know.
You're going to shout it out? Okay.
I'm going to shout it out.
Ronnie, you're going to shout it out. All right. Ronnie B., who did you think of this song?
You know, Dizzie Mac, at the beginning, I sort of went there with like the old spaghetti western kind of music a little bit. But then the more I listened to it, the brother put a lot of work into this, you know, with using different tones. Because, you know, basically he only had one instrument, and then everything else was his voice. And I have to give a brother a shout out for even working in that vein, because I'll say that he is not perfected, but he might be on to something. I'm giving him a shout out. I thought it was really creative and kind of took me back to them 70s and 80s times when they would try stuff, you know. Little avant-garde, I'm giving him a shout-out.
Yeah, you saying he was trying stuff. I don't know what he was trying, because he must be on something, because that song was not good enough. I am not shouting it out. I am going to hit the mute. He sounded like he was on something.
On that ooh-wee.
Ooh. I didn't know. He was meditating. I mean, I don't know. It sounded kind of weird to me, the whole song. So I'm definitely not shouting that out. All right. So part two of Chow, we'll have another performance from Arkeva. Boy, is that the sound of my favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It?
It's time for Flip It, where our hosts defend a point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. Jack Del Rio is turning the Raiders around. Woo-hoo! Dizzie Mac got a shiny bearskin rug with a skull and crossbones and a patch on it. And John Fox has Jay Cutler throwing the fewest interceptions in his career, and the Bears are, even with a losing record, they're looking competitive again. They ain't getting their butts just whipped. Both coaches have benefited from having stronger and better management without interference from the owners. We asked the panel to defend. It is time for a new regime in Dallas. Both Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett need to ride off into the sunset. Dizzie Mac, defend. And Dizzie Mac is so bored with that Dallas conversation, he just snoozed off on it.
But hey, you know what? Jack Del Rio has did it. Again, what can you expect from a linebacker? He'll run through a wall, but the linebackers get the respect. If you look at any team, the linebackers get the respect. And as a former linebacker, they respect Jack Del Rio, turning them around. Hey, you need a linebacker down there in Dallas. You need a former linebacker. You need somebody that could shake up this team. Because, again, nobody's going to fight a linebacker. They look at Jason Garrett and say, well, okay, whatever. Right. Tony Romo, just throw the ball deep and I'll be there. Jason Garrett works for a owner who would expect that his team will run through a wall for them, like a linebacker. They're not going to get it. Hey, I'm not saying, they're bad people. But at this point, they're a bad owner and a bad coach. Get the two for. Get rid of them both. 2 for 1. Make it a double dip firing day. Somebody buy them Cowboys. Take them out Jerry Jones. And the first order of business is fire Jason Garrett. And there you have it. A double dip. America's team needs a new regime in 2016.
All right. You heard the defense from the Dizzie Mac. But First Lady, is it time for a new regime in Dallas? Both Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett need to go. Defend.
It's been 20 straight seasons Americans' team has not made a Super Bowl appearance. How can you be Americans' team if you haven't been to the Super Bowl? Jerry Jones needs to sell the team to give it a chance to win again. His stubbornness to continue to make personnel decisions has placed the team in perpetual mediocrity. Furthermore, his relationship with Jason Garrett shows that he refuses to realize that he is not the coach to run this team. The team was dysfunctional this season due to injuries, player meltdowns, Dez Bryant, and, of course, the Greg Hardy situation. Jones continually has made it clear he has no intention on stepping away from the GM role or, more importantly, selling the team. The Cowboys are his life. But this team needs new blood, a shot in the arm to bring the Cowboys back to greatness. But it will not happen with Jones as the owner and Jason Garrett as the coach.
Says I hate to say it, Dizzie Mac, Al Davis in his later years. But we're going to flip it. We're going to flip it. We asked the panel to defend. The Cowboys had a disastrous season, which is helping them get another high-value draft pick. Jerry and Jason are fine. Watch Jerry make an off-season deal that has these Cowboys back in the playoffs in 2016. Dizzie Mac, defend.
The Cowboys are fine. They had injuries. The quarterbacks get hurt early. Your top wide receiver gets hurt. And, it's going to make a difference. You traded away the league rushing the league. I mean, well, you didn't trade him away. You let him go by free agency, and yes, it's going to be a tough one. But they're going to bounce back. Watch. Tony Romo is going to get that collarbone healthy. Dez Bryant is going to get it right. His foot is going to heal. Jason Witten, Cole Beasley, Terrence Williams are going to heal up in the off season. And watch. They're going to be the high-flying Cowboys of old. Darren McFadden has showed that, hey, he can handle the load down there in Big D and be a very good running back. And they're going to be back in the playoffs before you can say 2016. Easy fix. And they're going to make sure that they beat up on every divisional foe. With a healthy Cowboy lineup, nobody in the East can compete with them. That's healthy. They just got to get healthy.
The beast of the East. Okay, you heard the defense. First Lady, defend.
Sure, the Cowboys were dysfunctional this season, but considering the amount of serious injuries they sustained, they still had a chance to win their division. There is light at the end of the dark tunnel for the Cowboys. They will have that high draft pick out of this dismal season, and the offense will be better when Tony Romo returns. However, because he is always injured, they need to obtain a more reliable backup quarterback. If Jerry makes an off-season deal, he needs to add another prolific wide receiver to be paired with Dez Bryant. Their offensive line is great because they were able to be ranked number 9 in the league for rushing yards. The Cowboys were ranked number 12 for overall defense, so the team is basically 2 players away from being back in the playoffs in 2016 and for being America's team again.
The defense went a little too far at the end. But, great defense. First Lady. Take us to break.
That's my girl.
Stay tuned. Up next, the funnies and our favorite underwater friend on Flip It Part 2.
Mimosas all around.
America's team. How about the Cowboys?
Joe would love.
Another day, another restless night, crying myself to sleep. Another day of relentless phone calls from credit card companies demanding payment. Another day wondering if filing bankruptcy or getting one of those debt consolidation loans is the only way to go. A friend said, "Stop crying. Just call Sharon, the debt destroyer." Sharon and her team of experts work hard to help you eliminate your credit card debt and get you and your credit back on track. No bankruptcy, no loans, your credit card debt eliminated. I called Sharon and her team of experts went right to work with a plan that made sense. I am sleeping peacefully knowing my credit card debt is being destroyed and my credit is getting back on track. Have your credit card debt destroyed and get a good night's sleep? Contact Sharon, the Debt Destroyer, at yourdebtdestroyed.com or call 888-431-2829, extension 2.
Welcome back. You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for the funnies. Dizzie Mac, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, First Lady. And First Lady, we have a Happy New Year guess. What we have for our first Need to Grow story of 2016.
The first Need to Grow of 2016.
Yes. Well, an Ohio man arrested after posting drunk driving selfie video. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know how these selfies are. Authorities in Ohio said they arrested a man after he posted a Facebook video of himself drinking alcohol behind the wheel. Dustin Rickers, 28, was pulled over Monday after deputies got a tip from someone about a man driving erratically while drinking behind the wheel and filming himself with a cell phone. Oh, yeah. Dispatchers gained information about the driver's identity and whereabouts from the video, which Rickers posted to Facebook. Rickers was charged with operating a vehicle while impaired, following too closely, marked lane violation, an open container, and a motor vehicle. Sheriff Zach Scott said, the situation shows the power of social media. Social media led us straight to this suspect to stop him before he was able to hurt himself or others. Rickers continued to use Facebook while driving after posting the video. Wow. In response to a comment, I am a good driver. Don't worry. I got one finger on the steering wheel, Facebooking while it's raining. I am good. I am a pro. Great. Well, he was such a pro that, hey, the police wanted to talk to him and get his idea of how he liked the bologna sandwich at the county jail. God damn it. If water is splashing on my bearskin rug in 2016, it must be time for our favorite underwater friend. It's time for Flip It.
Time for Flip It, while hosts defend a point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. Let me film myself drinking and driving and post it on Facebook. Flipper would never do that. Because he's smarter than obviously in this guy's case. If you have ever seen a Godzilla movie, you know the big fella comes to town, wreaks havoc, and there's little that can be done. You know, they send everything after Godzilla. And, you know, he just kind of, what's up? Wipes them out. Well, Rex Ryan may look like Godzilla, but his coaching is starting to look more like the attack of the killer tomatoes.
Ouch.
Paddle defend. Buffalo needs to cut bait before it's too late and get a coach who has more wins than losses under his belt. Dizzie Mac defend.
Well, Buffalo, Chip Kelly is available. He has a winning record. He's out there. Now, I'm not going to say anything more than he is a winning record coach. Now, he will dismantle your team and send LaShawn McCoy to San Francisco, but he will come in and be the winning coach that you don't have now. But Buffalo needs to cut that bait before it's too late. You need a coach that has some type of substance, some type of system. Rex just doesn't. He just kind of coaches how he feels that day. No system, nothing in place to have the players uplifted, motivated. I mean, what, are they a running team? Are they a passing team? Are they a team at all? Do they like each other? I don't know. Rex just does what he wants, how he wants, and barks a little bit. But hey, First Lady, me personally, I like the big fat Rex. I don't like the slim down Rex. He got on that Weight Watchers. He got on that Weight Watchers and that Nutrisystem diet and drinking them Diet Cokes and them Slim Fast shakes. And hey, I think he just lost his self-identity. He lost all that weight. He lost his identity of somebody that was a hard-nosed coach. Put the weight on, Rex. Get back to doing what you're doing. But since she won't, they're going to cut bait and drop you just like a bad habit. Move on, Buffalo. Get a winner, not a beginner.
All right, you've heard the defense from Dizzie Mac, First Lady.
The Bills are 7-8 and have been eliminated from the playoffs, missing the postseason for 16 straight seasons. When Ryan took over in Buffalo last January, he promised to break that playoff drought, but this season has been a total debacle with players criticizing and questioning Ryan. The Bills' season consisted of injuries, disappointment, and a lot of player unrest, which is unheard of on a Rex Ryan team. He has always been a player's coach. But many of his players were upset with their defensive schemes and substitution patterns, especially Mario Williams, who probably will not be on the Bills next season. I'm starting to think that Rex only has a big mouth, but is no longer as good with X and O's and planning defensive schemes. So he is definitely a lame duck coach because the Bills need to cut their ties and find them a new coach.
All right, you heard the defense. Kick Rex to the curb. And Dizzie Mac, you're trying to bring the slim Luther versus the heavyweight Luther Vandross into the conversation. I did catch that, but in Rex's case, I think it's the foot fetish.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's that's something to do with the foot fetish. But we're gonna flip it. Panel defend. Buffalo got exactly what they wanted. A coach who could fire up the fan base while rebuilding the franchise into a contender. It is way too early to think about ditching Rex, just like the Toyminator. He'll be back. Dizzie Mac, the fan.
Oh yeah, Rex will be back. 7-8 with a chance to go 8-8. That is what Buffalo is talking about. Yeah, they may have been eliminated from the playoffs, but they built an environment where, hey, they're fired up. The fans are coming out, and they know that Rex will keep them motivated. He's going to keep one foot in their behind. He's going to keep the other foot on their neck and pressing towards winning, the division next season. Rex is the right coach for them. Buffalo is a passionate city, a hardcore football city. They need a hardcore coach who's going to come in there and not only eat buffalo wings with them, endure the 5 million inches of snow they get in Buffalo a year. They're going to have somebody that's going to lead them into the charge and has done a pretty good job at amassing a roster that is very much deep at every position. They're only going to get better. Give Rex a chance to do what he does best, which is work his magic. I remember them New York Jet days where he took them to a couple of AFC Championship games with Mark Sanchez. And if he could do that with Mark Sanchez, he should be able to do the same with Tyrod Taylor. Rex will be back. Mark my word. And they'll be knocking on the door, if not kicking it in, making the playoffs. Don't write off Rex.
All right, you heard the defense from the Dizzie Mac over there on his bearskin rug. But to wrap it up, the final word goes to the First Lady, the fan.
Rex Ryan received a vote of confidence from Bills owners Terry and Kim Pagula this week. Boy, oh boy, he needed that vote of confidence because it seemed that the players wanted Rex served up. There are so much expectations for the Bills this season. The team was picked to go to the playoffs, but they had a lot of key injuries to key players. Shady McCoy was injured, and defensive tackle Kyle Williams also was injured. The one great thing about this season and the Bills' accomplishments, which were very few, is the fact that Tyrod Taylor is definitely their quarterback of the future. So Rex just needs to tweak the defense a little bit. You know, Rex is a motivator. He's a good defensive coach. For some reason, it just did not translate into victories this year. But once the players get used to Rex's coaching style, and they will see that Rex is a leader among men, the foundation is there for the Bills to be a playoff team. They just need to get used to Rex. You know, Rex got that mouth. He likes to talk a lot. He likes to motivate. And I just don't think the Bills were accustomed to that. And I just think once they get used to Rex Ryan, they'll see that he can lead them to the playoffs next year in 2016.
All right. You've heard the defense from our panel this week on Flip It, except the part that they need to cut Mario Williams. But First Lady, take us to break.
On the other side of the break, we'll have another performance from Arkeva on Shout Out. Please stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Give me some buffalo wings, hot wings.
Another day, another restless night, crying myself to sleep. Another day of relentless phone calls from credit card companies demanding payment. Another day wondering if filing bankruptcy or getting one of those debt consolidation loans is the only way to go. A friend said, "Stop crying. Just call Sharon, the debt destroyer." Sharon and her team of experts work hard to help you eliminate your credit card debt and get you and your credit back on track. No bankruptcies, no loans, your credit card debt eliminated. I called Sharon and her team of experts went right to work with a plan that made sense. I am sleeping peacefully knowing my credit card debt is being destroyed and my credit is getting back on track. Have your credit card debt destroyed and get a good night's sleep. Contact Sharon the Debt Destroyer at yourdebtdestroyed.com or call 888-431-2829 extension 2.
Welcome back. You are listening to Brawls, Panties and Sports. It's time for shout-out part 2, the picks and the finale. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout-out from the First Lady and the crew. First Lady, over to you.
Hey, Dizzie Mac, we have another performance from Arkeva. DJ, let's hear Hold You One More Time.
I get home one more time, you'll be mine.
If I can hold you one more time. Ronnie B, what did you think of Arkeva?
Okay. I'm going to give this track a yo. Like I said, I like the experimentation. This track was a little more subtle. I'm going to give it a yo. Kind of put me in the mood of a Pulp Fiction movie.
Okay. Dizzie Mac?
Wow. His music is a lot different than Hiroshima, and usually I like Japanese music because they usually have a very good, and I give him this. He can play his instruments. The instruments, they're hidden, but the melodies, the funk. I need the funk. I need it to come up from the inside and, take the shackles off. He's a little bit too controlled. So I'm going to hit the mute button on this one.
Well, Ronnie B calls it an experiment. Hopefully this experiment is over because I I can't even give it a yo. I mean, really, there was no lyrics to the song. Basically, all I kept hearing is it was the title part. He didn't have any lyrics. He just kept repeating that over and over again. So I don't know. I'm like you, Dizzie Mac. Music, Japanese music seems a little bit more authenticated than this. I really couldn't even tell he was from Japan, to be honest with you. If you had told me he was from Japan, I would never have thought it. So, all he kept saying is "hold you one more time" over and over again. So I'm not going to shout this out. I'm glad the experiment hopefully is over with. All right. Well, that's the end of the shout out. If you like what you heard from Arkeva, check him out on YouTube. Search for Arkeva, Arkeva. If you like what you heard or have any comments, you can send your emails or tracks to panties@oldgrumpyradio.com. It's time for the picks. I have been the NFL champ 3 times. Will this be the year I am unseated? Unseated not. All right. Let's go. All right. I told you I'm going to make my move. All right. So let's go to last week's results. Joe and me, we were at 55,000 points. Joe and I had 55,000. Dizzie Mac, you had 25,000 points. So for the totals, at this point I'm leading with 197,400 points. Dizzie Mac, you're at 145,550 points. And Joe is at 7,675,7,500 points.
Wow, Joe had to come out of a big hole.
Yeah, he was. He had a good week. He definitely had a good week. All right, let's get to the games. 5,000 points per game. And it seems like all these games really do not have any meaning. So that makes it even tough. Okay, we have Washington versus the Eagles.
The players on the field, they got pride.
Pride. Yeah, that's all they're playing for is pride. That's the last game.
And
Washington versus
the contract.
Eagles. Washington versus Eagles. Dizzie Mac, who do you have?
I'm going with Washington.
Okay. Oh, that's a mistake, isn't it? Didn't the Eagles play Washington last week?
And give me 1 second.
I'm sorry. Something happened here. Did I pull
No,
the
that was
wrong?
the Giants, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. You're right. My bad. The Giants. I don't know. They played somebody. Okay, let's go. So you're going with the Washington Redskins. I'm going with the Redskins also. And we will have Joe's picks at another time before the week is over. All right. Jaguars versus Texans. I'm going to go with the Texans. Dizzie Mac, who do you have?
Oh, they're gonna finish the job. I'm going with the Jags.
With the Jags. All right. Eagles versus Giants.
Oh, that's the one that needs to be deleted.
Okay, I knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
Eagles versus Giants. Okay, well, that one is wrong because the Eagles already played the Giants. So let's move on to the next one. Just got confused here. All right, so then let's go to the Rams versus the 49ers. I'm going to go with the Rams. Dizzie Mac, who do you have?
The 49ers at home.
I think the Rams probably need to win that to help out their coach, Fisher, because he might be on the hot seat. Lions versus Bears. Oh, my. Lions versus the Bears. Oh, my. Oh, boy. I don't know. This is a tough one. The Lions have been playing real well, and the Bears have been okay. I'm going to go with the Lions. Dizzie Mac, who do you have? Of course, the Bears.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bears. The Bears they're going to end their season on a high note and skin them Lions.
Okay. Let's get to the scoop. Which quarterback will throw the most interceptions? Jay Cutler or Russell Wilson? All right. It's $35,000 for the correct answer, minus $20,000 for the incorrect answer. See, now I went with Jay Cutler last week, and of course, he didn't have any interceptions. So since he didn't have any interception last week, he'll have an interception this week. So I'm going to stick and go with Jay Cutler. Dizzie Mac, who do you have?
I'm going to go with Russell Wilson.
Okay. Who will score more points? Matthew Stafford or Washington? I'm going to go with Washington.
What?
Dizzie Mac?
Oh, wow. I'm going to go with Washington.
Okay. And that's $15,000 for the correct answer, minus $5,000 for the incorrect. Who will score more points? Ryan Fitzpatrick or the Dallas Cowboys? $20,000 for the correct answer, minus $15,000 for the incorrect answer. Dizzie Mac?
Dallas.
So the Cowboys are playing. What we just said? The Cowboys are playing. Who are the Cowboys playing?
The Cowboys are playing. Let's see. What? Oh, you know what? We did have a. 1 second. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to adjust something here. The Cowboys are actually playing Washington.
Oh, versus the Eagles.
Right, the Cowboys are playing Washington.
That's what
we did have an error.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cowboys are playing Washington.
Yeah, that's who I thought Washington played the Eagles. They lost last week. They won last week.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we gonna go back, but it doesn't
correct.
It doesn't change anything. I don't think for Dizzie Mac or me because it's going to be Washington. All right. So right, Dizzie Mac, you're gonna go with Washington. Okay. So let's go back to. So I'm gonna say that Ryan Fitzpatrick will have more points than the Cowboys.
All right.
Dizzie Mac, what about you? Dizzie Mac?
Let's see. I'm over here sipping on this mimosa.
Who's going to have more points, Ryan Fitzpatrick or Dallas Cowboys?
Oh, Dallas, for sure.
Okay, you got the Cowboys for sure. Okay, for sure. All right. Which team will have more rushing yards? The Seahawks or Vikings? 25,000 for the correct answer, minus 15,000 for the incorrect answer. Wow, this is a tough one. Both of them. You know what? No, it's not tough. I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
AP in the house.
Dizzie Mac.
Oh, hey. AP's gonna put a whooping on them boys, like he did his son.
Okay.
Okay. Let's get to the upset. Raiders will upset the Chiefs. 35,000 for the correct answer, minus 30 for the incorrect. No, Raiders will not upset the Chiefs. Dizzie Mac?
They will upset the Chiefs.
Vikings will upset the Packers. 25,000 for the correct answer, minus 20,000 for the incorrect answer. I went with the Vikings before. I am definitely going with the Vikings. I think they're in a little better situation than the Packers. So I'm going with the Vikings. Dizzie Mac?
Yes, the Vikings will upset Green Bay.
Okay. Seahawks will upset the Cardinals. I'm going to say no. Dizzie Mac?
Seahawks will upset the Cardinals.
The Seahawks will? All right, get 35,000 for the correct answer, minus 30,000 for the incorrect. And finally, the Bills will upset the Jets. I will say no. Dizzie Mac?
The Bills will upset the Jets. 8-8. 8-8.
All right, you hope that rest will come through. All right, well, we'll see. We're a little bit confused on that little section, but that's okay. You know, we're coming back from the New Year's break. We saw too much college football. So anyway, before we go, it's time to find out what we missed this week. Dizzie Mac, what did you miss?
Man, you know what? It's not sports related, but I have to just say it. My heart goes out to the family of Natalie Cole. R.I.P.
Yes. A lot of people, several people passed this week. Yes, definitely. Natalie Cole was one of the pioneers. Ronnie B., what did you miss?
I'm just going to tag on with Dizzie Mac. Natalie Cole is missed.
Yes, she is missed. And also who's missed is Meadowlark Lemon. You remember the passing of Meadowlark Lemon?
Yeah.
Great Globetrotter player. He was definitely one of the pioneers for the Globetrotter, and he was an ambassador to the world. Everybody knew Meadowlark Lemon, and everybody knew him around the world. So we're definitely missing two great people to start off this new year, which is sad. You know, you don't want to start the new year off like that, but we had lost two greats. This has been Cheryl Smith and Dizzie Mac. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. And everybody, have a happy new year.
2016, lean to me.